Hello, I am Majid 2006. Welcome to the channel What We Are Why. Breaking up is hard to do. We humans have never been good at it, and I think we've made it even worse in the modern world. Break up by text, break up by email, seriously? And now, I hear of a new way called ghosting. This is where you end a relationship simply by ceasing communication with your partner. That's horrible. No matter how your feelings have changed, you deserve to treat your partner and yourself with dignity when breaking up. You may have lost respect for them as your partner, but this person is still, well, a person. How do you break up mindfully? 1. Accept that it's over. One of the most important ways to break up with dignity is to acknowledge within yourself the relationship really is over. You will never be able to truly move on if part of you cannot accept that this part of your life is over. So preserve your dignity. Stop yourself from starting to appear desperate and force yourself to acclimatize to your new circumstances. 2. Breathe and collect your thoughts. Whether you're in the middle of a breakup or you've just come out the other end of it and are facing single life, the first thing you need to do is breathe. Why? Because right now your world has turned upside down. Your natural reaction might be to freak out at the idea that you and your partner are no longer together. But the problem with freaking out is you may overreact, or react in a way you wouldn't normally. I know people who have had massive meltdowns during a breakup, and things can turn nasty quickly. Harsh words or throwing a tantrum don't go hand in hand with acting dignified. It's not about suppressing your emotions, we're going to get to that in the next step, but rather allowing your brain to process what is going on. So, when you're feeling overwhelmed or upset, take a moment to breathe calmly, close your eyes, listen to music, and gather your thoughts. 3. Leave no questions. In order to achieve full closure and as much dignity and mindfulness as possible, you and your partner should leave no stone unturned when it comes to your reasons for breaking up. Making sure that there are no questions left unanswered, and also answering them in a respectful manner, is key to keeping the process mature. 4. Be patient. Patience is a real virtue, and patience is something you will need a lot of when going through a breakup, especially if your other half is in denial or unwilling to cooperate. At times you will want to throw something, shout at the top of your lungs, and be completely unreasonable, but think of it this way. Use your patience to behave so that you don't do anything you would be ashamed to tell somebody in 5 years' time. 5. Take the high road. The best way to handle a breakup with dignity is to be the bigger person and take the high road. This doesn't mean allowing your ex to disrespect you, but rather handling their disrespect in a classy way. Here are a few examples. If they start an argument, calmly remove yourself from the situation until they're able to calm down and speak rationally. If they insult you, let them know you won't stand to be spoken that way and avoid contact with them, instead of insulting them back. If they act petty and demand things back that they've left at yours, resist the urge to throw their stuff on the street. Arrange for a friend to drop off their belongings. Simply put, taking the high road requires maturity. There may be times when you want nothing more than to have it out with your ex, to scream and act petty back. But ultimately you won't come out the other end feeling any better about yourself. So, act in a way that'll make your future self proud. Act with maturity and don't give your ex a chance to hurt you more than they already have done. 6. Only open up to those close to you. If you really want to handle a breakup with dignity, be careful who you share your heartbreak with. Do you know what this means? Social media is a big no. For your sake, please don't post about your breakup on Twitter or Instagram. Don't share cryptic memes on Facebook. Everyone will know exactly what you're referring to. I know the temptation. There are a few reasons why you might take to the internet to vent. It's a good way to get sympathy. You might want to tarnish your ex's reputation. You want to let other people know you're single now. But the truth is, 95% of people on your socials don't really care about you. They're interested in the gossip and the drama, but very few will genuinely have concern for you or your well-being. Plus, you won't come across as very mature, let alone as handling the breakup with dignity. Think about the future. You won't regret opening up to your loved ones, but you will regret a post written in anger, which you can't take back or delete because everyone has already seen it and properly screenshotted and shared. So, save your emotional releases for those you truly trust. A couple of good friends or family members are more than enough to support you through this tough time. 7. Don't try to be friends too soon. Straight after a breakup, you might think it's a good idea to be friends with your ex. This is pretty normal. You think that it'll be easier to deal with the pain if they're still in your life, even just as friends. But here's the thing, trying to be friends too soon can backfire, for these reasons. you won't fully disconnect from them, and this makes it harder to process your feelings and move on. You may end up becoming friends with benefits, which again, doesn't help you get over them. You could end up in a hurtful situation if your ex starts dating again and tells you about it since you're friends now. Give it time. Not to mention, if you're chasing your ex to be friends or entertaining their idea of friendship too soon, you'll feel less dignified in the process. That's because you'll know deep down that you aren't putting your healing first. You may get temporary happiness from being in touch with your ex or meeting up, but in the long term, you're hurting yourself even more. 8. Avoid the rebound dates. Okay, this one is a little tricky. A few weeks after your breakup, you're probably going to feel a bit more optimistic about life. You may even decide to head out to a local bar or check out a few dating apps. This is normal. You're still not over your ex, but you feel ready to explore other options. And although you're free to do what you want, I'm here to remind you that a rebound won't help you handle the breakup with dignity. You may end up hurting whoever you rebound with, especially if they're looking for something serious. Or, you'll upset yourself when you realize the one-night stand didn't bring you any closer to moving on. And the main issue? A rebound can quickly turn into a distraction. A distraction from processing your emotions or from investing in yourself. You're not ready to throw yourself into another relationship, so hold off for a while. Allow yourself to fully get over your ex before getting involved with someone else. And more importantly, allow yourself to rebuild your life before letting someone else in. Very important and useful tips. Don't take it too personally. Being dumped does not mean that you are bad, or not good enough. It was the relationship that didn't work, not a failing of you as a person. Starting and ending relationships is a natural process of figuring out what you like, don't like, need, and want in a relationship. Each experience you have with a new person develops your palette, and makes it easier for you to know what to look for in your next partner. Know you are not a victim, and they are not a villain. You can grieve the loss of a relationship without being a victim. Yes, there will be heartache, wishing things could have been different, intense anger and sadness, etc. However, do not forget that you're also a person that is going through a tough transition, but will eventually heal and move on from this. Furthermore, they can break up with you without being a villain. Remember, it was the relationship that didn't work. There were positive parts of the relationship were real and valuable, and more likely than not, the breakup was not an elaborate, malicious scheme to cause harm to you. No one gets into a relationship expecting to break up. It probably took a lot for this person to be honest with you about things not working. You were an important part of this person's life, as they were to you. Believe them when they tell you it isn't working. Don't try to convince them out of their decision. Don't say that things will change, don't bargain with them, and certainly, don't beg. Trying to talk someone out of breaking up with you is a subliminal way to say, you don't know what you want, or, I'm desperate, please don't leave. Appreciate their honesty with you. Trust me, it's a lot worse for someone to pretend that they are still invested in your relationship, when they really aren't. You don't want someone to stick around out only of convenience for themselves, or pity for you. Don't ask for things to be open-ended so there's hope for the future. You are a prize and deserve someone who actively values you and wants to be with you. Don't settle for less. Grieve on your own time. Obviously you're going to have a lot of emotions about this, and you need to express and process them, but not with the person who broke up with you. They can't be the cause and cure for your pain. They communicated that they wanted the relationship to end, which means all responsibility and obligation towards you stops. It stings when you've had a go-to person for so long, and suddenly they aren't there anymore. That's okay, this is part of the transitional process. The stages of grief include denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, and meaning-making. Expect to experience all of these, in no particular order, at varying intensities, perhaps even more than once. These are normal, natural, and necessary. Speak to a therapist, counselor, trusted family member or friend, and have some time to journal with yourself. Now, if you want to be successful in romantic relationships and know more, subscribe to my channel. I made many tutorials for you. I will kiss you, my dear.